The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene in 27 minutes. Let's go. Starting with the law of irrationality. We humans are emotional animals. We act, think, and see things based on our emotions, often leading to a disconnect of reality. Rationality is the ability to see things clearly and how they are not enveloped by our emotions. The first step to become more rational is to be aware that you are not rational and act, as everyone else, based on your emotions. Start recognizing the biases. In confirmation bias, the tendency to favor information that confirms one's pre-existing beliefs while disregarding contradictory evidence. Conviction bias, being excessively sure of one's beliefs, resisting any reconsideration despite contrary evidence. Appearance bias, the tendency to form opinions about someone based on their physical appearance rather than their character or abilities. Bias, our peers influence our decisions. Blame bias, we tend to blame others for our own failure. Superiority bias, we imagine ourselves as superior to others. The next step is to be aware of factors that lead to an outburst of emotions, the so-called inflaming factors. These are trigger points from early childhood, sudden gains or losses, rising pressure, inflaming individuals that lead to emotional outbursts solely through their presence and the group effect. The last step is knowing about tactics towards rationality. Know yourself thoroughly, examine your emotions to the roots, increase your reaction time, accept people as facts, find the optimal balance of thinking and emotion, since we need both, and start loving the rational. The second law is the law of narcissism. Deep inside all of us are narcissists, some more and some less on the spectrum. The spectrum goes from the deep narcissist, who exhibits an extreme sense of self-importance, a lack of empathy, and a constant need for admiration, often manipulating others for personal gain, to the functional narcissist, who displays traits of narcissism but may function well in society by leveraging their self-centeredness to achieve success or positive outcomes in certain situations. And on the other side, the healthy narcissist, someone with self-assurance and confidence without exhibiting the extreme traits or negative behaviors. Our task is to build up more of our emphatic skill that is enveloped by our narcissism. The emphatic skill set consists of 4 components. The empathic attitude, each person is like an undiscovered country, bringing joy to explore. Visceral empathy, a strong, instinctive connection to someone else's feelings. Analytic empathy, understanding someone's emotions by logically interpreting their thoughts and feelings. Empathic skill, the ability to understand and connect with others on a deep emotional level, recognizing their motivations and feelings. In our environment, 2 types of narcissists are very present. Be careful when interacting with them. The complete control narcissist, an individual who seeks to dominate and manipulate others, craving total control over their emotions, thoughts, and actions for their personal gain and power. The theatrical narcissist, someone who thrives on attention and drama, often exaggerating their achievements and emotions for the spotlight, using theatricality to fuel their grandiose self-image. The law of role-playing. All of us are actors, playing a role to the outside and hiding things we do not want other people to notice. Reading body language is the key to uncover what others are hiding from you. First, you need to start observing people without interpreting any action to really get familiar with body language. The next step is to look out for cues. Cues for like and dislike. Tension in the body, the torso turning away from you, looks of contempt in the first second they see you, and building up barriers are signs for dislike, while eyes lightening up, a relaxed face muscles, full lips, and a synchronized body language to your own are a sign of liking. Cues for dominance and submission. Using more space, holding eye contact, doing the most talking while leading the conversation and letting others play by their own rules are cues for dominance. Cues for deception. Body language that does not align with what they say, trying to talk much to deceive the lie. Non-verbal cues after saying something verbal and exaggerated gestures are signs someone is deceiving you. In order to be a successful role actor, master your non-verbal cues, adapt to your audience, create the proper first impression, use dramatic effects, and project saintly qualities. The law of compulsive behavior. Determining the strength of people's character. Get to know toxic types, know your own character fully, and break your compulsive behavior. Common types of people you should avoid in your life are the drama magnet, referring to an individual who unconsciously or intentionally attracts drama to seek attention or to feel superior. The big talker, referring to someone who boasts and talks big about their achievements, often exaggerating their abilities or accomplishments to impress others. The sexualizer, an individual who consistently turns conversations or interactions towards sexual topics or innuendos, often making others uncomfortable by their persistent sexual references or behaviors. The pampered prince or princess, an individual who, due to their upbringing or privilege, exhibits entitled or spoiled behavior, expecting special treatment and feeling exempt from typical rules or expectations. The pleaser, someone who constantly seeks validation and approval from others, often at the expense of their own needs and desires. And the savior, someone consistently placing themselves in the role of rescuer or helper, seeking to solve others' problems while neglecting their own needs in the process. The easy moralizer, someone who simplifies complex moral issues, confidently labeling things as right or wrong without considering the nuances or complexities involved. Your goal is now to examine your character deeper, getting to know your bad habits and the things holding you down. Having some of these traits is not necessarily bad, as long as they do not occur often. Stop denying your own weaknesses and start tackling them. The law of covetousness. Get to know what humans desire and become an object of desire yourself. There are 3 main strategies to stimulating desire. Know how and when to withdraw. Allowing one's absence to elevate their value or desirability in the eyes of others. It involves creating a sense of mystery and value through controlled absence or restraint. Create rivalries of desire. Aiming to incite desire by making something or someone appear desirable due to its competitive or exclusive nature. It leverages the human tendency to covet what others desire or compete for, amplifying the allure of a particular entity. Use induction. We yearn for what is forbidden for us. You want to associate your object with something ever so slightly illicit, unconventional, or politically advanced. Some desire nearly all of us share is voyeurism. The same goes for secrets. We want to know what is not destined for us. Remember that it is desire, not possession, that impels people. The law of shortsightedness. We are most impressed by what we can see and hear in the moment, and not what will come in the future, leaving us more prone to immediate reward, even if it means we will lose something in the future. There are 4 signs of short-sightedness and strategies to overcome them. Unintended consequences. Counteract them by thinking ahead in decision-making, analyzing potential repercussions to minimize any unwanted aftermath. Tactical hell. When every step worsens the situation, it's crucial to step back, reassess, and focus on long-term goals instead of short-term setbacks. Adopt a strategic view to avoid worsening the problem with immediate actions. Ticker tape fever. Feeling overwhelmed by information, leading to indecision. Prioritize key details and goals to maintain focus and prevent feeling swamped by excessive data. Lost in trivia. Overly fixating on irrelevant details, losing sight of larger goals. Focus on what truly matters to achieve main objectives. The law of defensiveness. Life is harsh and people are competitive. We naturally must look after our own interests. There are strategies for becoming a master persuader that can lower people's resistance. Transform yourself into a deep listener, involving actively engaging in conversations with a focus on understanding others rather than just waiting to speak. It requires genuine curiosity, empathy, and a willingness to comprehend perspectives beyond surface-level dialogue. Inflict people with the proper mood. Do not judge people, accept them, and talk to them with a warm feeling of rapport. Use open and friendly body language to soften their resistance. Confirm their self-belief. Nearly all people think of themselves as autonomous, more intelligent than others in certain aspects, and in being morally superior. Confirm their self-beliefs and how they view themselves, and you will see them opening up. Ally their insecurities. Everyone has their insecurities. Find out what the insecurities of the people around you are and strengthen them. Use people's resistance and stubbornness. Instead of direct confrontation, use indirect strategies that make them feel their cooperation is aligned with their own interests, leading them to willingly cooperate rather than oppose. Use their emotions, their language, and rigidity for this. The law of self-sabotage. Our attitude decides how reality turns out to be for us. We sabotage ourselves through the lens we view the world. Starting with the hostile attitude. It is marked by distrust and a confrontational stance, often leading to defensiveness or aggression, hindering effective communication and collaboration. The anxious attitude is characterized by worry, apprehension, and a tendency to overthink, leading to an inability to relax or make decisions comfortably. The avoidant attitude involves a strong inclination to sidestep challenges or uncomfortable situations, often resulting in a tendency to procrastinate or evade confrontation to protect oneself from potential discomfort or failure. The depressive attitude involves a pervasive sense of hopelessness, sadness, and pessimism, often accompanied by feelings of inadequacy or a lack of motivation. The resentful attitude is marked by a deep-seated bitterness and anger toward perceived injustices or perceived wrongdoings from others, often leading to a desire for revenge or a refusal to forgive. Rather, you should view the world as a stage for continual learning and growth, perceive adversity as an opportunity for strength and resilience, see oneself as a work in progress, and understand energy and health as crucial resources to be managed and preserved, and regard other people as multifaceted individuals with their own motivations and complexities. The law of repression. In all of us lives a dark side, the shadow, representing the darker, suppressed aspects of our personalities, encompassing traits or desires we tend to deny or conceal from others and even ourselves. The following are clear signs that the shadow side is at work: emotional outburst, vehement denial, over-idealization, accidental behavior, projection, and contradictory behavior. For contradictory behavior, there are 7 common types that present themselves in a light which is often the opposite to what they really are. The tough guy, the saint, the passive-aggressive charmer, the fanatic, the rigid rationalist, the snob, and the extreme entrepreneur. As the integrated human, one should strive to acknowledge and embrace the shadow aspects of their personality, integrating them into their whole identity, leading to a more balanced and authentic self. The law of envy. We are naturally compelled to compare ourselves to others, noticing every difference between what we have and what they have, which ultimately leads to envy. There are persons more prone to envy and others not so. Envy is no emotion we show in public, but there are signs of it. Micro-expressions, poisonous praise, undermining someone's confidence or self-worth rather than genuinely acknowledging their achievements. Backbiting, speaking negatively behind people's back. There are types of enviers. The leveler, seeking to bring others down to their level, aiming to eliminate any perceived superiority in their rivals, often through criticism or sabotage. The self-entitled slacker, seeing themselves as inherently deserving without exerting effort, relying on others while avoiding responsibility and commitment. The status fiend obsesses over their social standing, often at the expense of genuine connections or personal fulfillment, fixated on appearances and societal validation. The attacher, deeply reliant on others for validation and a sense of identity, often exhibiting clingy behavior in relationships to fill their own emotional gaps. The insecure master, despite holding a position of power or authority, harbors deep insecurities, often compensating through aggressive behavior or an excessive display of dominance to mask their internal uncertainties. How to deal with envy. Move closer to what you envy, looking behind the glittering facade people display. Engage in downward comparison, practice Mitfreud, transmute envy into emulation, and admire human greatness. The law of grandiosity encapsulates an exaggerated self-importance and an inclination to showcase superiority or uniqueness, often accompanied by a relentless pursuit of validation and adoration from others. Often there is a leader exhibiting grandiosity with statements like, "I am destined," "I am the common man or woman," "I will deliver you," "I rewrite the rules," "I have the golden touch," and "I am vulnerable." Be careful with people using these statements, since often they are just signs of grandiosity and are not covered up with facts. Still, these leaders will have a strong following, since this is also a way of channeling one's own grandiosity. Our goal is to achieve practical grandiosity, which is based on reality, and the energy is channeled into our work and our desire to achieve goals. The steps to achieving the practical grandiosity are: come to terms with your grandiose needs, concentrate the energy, maintain a dialogue with reality, seek out calibrated challenges, and let loose of your grandiose energy. The law of gender rigidity. We all have a mixture of masculine and feminine qualities inside of us, due to our genetics, and also the influence from the parent of the opposite gender. The feminine side in the male is called the anima, and the masculine side in the female is called the animus. We project a certain role to the opposite gender we are attracted to, which is highly influenced by the parent of the opposite sex, and which is not achievable since this role stamps from your fantasy. When looking for a partner, be aware of these projections and distance yourself from them in order to see what your partner is really like. Although there are many forms of projections, the following 6 are the most common. The devilish romantic. A woman seeks the attention and power she lacked from her father, trying to win over older, successful men, but realizes their romanticized qualities are unattainable. The elusive woman of perfection. A man idealizes a perfect woman, quickly becoming disenchanted when reality doesn't align with his fantasy. The lovable rebel. Women attracted to men with disdain for authority, often due to strict, distant father figures and a desire for independence. The fallen woman. Men drawn to the opposite of their virtuous selves, seeking flawed women due to their upbringing by strong, maternal figures, yet facing disappointment. The superior man. Women project their inferiority by seeking confidence and strength in men, often attracting domineering partners and either leaving disappointed or succumbing to manipulation. The woman to worship him. Men longing for women to adore and support them, stemming from their relationship with an adoring mother, perpetuating a pattern of seeking the same adoration in romantic relationships. The original man and the original women. When we were young, our sense of self was rather fluid, not dictated by societal norms. We adapted to the role society wanted us to be. Our task is to go back to our original self and strengthen the feminine or masculine way of behaving. The feminine approach, characterized by nurturing, collaboration, intuition, and empathy, emphasizes relationships and consensus building in actions and leadership. It values emotional intelligence, interconnectedness, and holistic understanding. Masculine styles typically prioritize competition, individual achievement, logic, and hierarchy in actions and leadership, emphasizing directness and assertiveness. We are a mixture of all of this, but still some qualities are stronger than others inside of us, and we need to reconnect to them. The law of aimlessness. In the back of our minds, we can sense an overall lack of direction, as we are pulled this way and that way by our moods and the opinions of others. To stop this, we need to discover our calling in life, and to develop a sense of purpose. There are strategies for discovering this sense of direction. Discover your calling in life. Start by looking at your earliest years, what lit up a spark in you. Examine your life for tasks which feel natural and easy to you. Elevate your perspective and try out as much as you can, and you will find your calling. Use resistance and negative spurs, which can serve as powerful motivators. Harnessing these elements can fuel determination, innovation, and the drive to overcome obstacles. Absorb purposeful energy. Harnessing and absorbing the focused energy and intent of others to amplify your own drive and motivation towards your goals. Create a ladder of descending goals. Break down your big goal into smaller, manageable steps to create a clear path forward. Lose yourself in the work. Immerse yourself deeply in your tasks to the point where you lose track of time and distractions, enabling total focus and productivity. There are also false purposes you should avoid in life. The pursuit of pleasure. The continuous chase for pleasure and immediate gratification often leads to fleeting satisfaction and can distract from long-term fulfillment and purpose. Causes and cults. The allure of belonging, often at the expense of independent thinking and personal autonomy. Money and success. They can drive ambitions, but they don't always ensure fulfillment and can distract from other essential life aspects. Cynicism. The feeling that there is no purpose or meaning in life, we should go into the opposite direction and see a purpose behind every experience. The law of conformity. Resist the downward pull of the group. Uncovering the effect on the individual, group dynamics, the different group members, and the ideal group. We all have the desire to fit in, adapting our beliefs to the ones of the groups. In a group we have pressure to perform, the emotions of a group are contagious, and in a group we feel more certain about what we do. Be aware of these effects and take a step back if you feel unusually certain. Group dynamics involve group culture, collective dynamics and norms on individual behavior, shaping our identity. Group rules and courts, regulating social dynamics, maintaining order, establishing hierarchies. The group enemy, often a group unites against an enemy to push against. Group factions, internal splits within a larger community due to conflicting interests or beliefs. The group court, the members of the group including. The intriguer maneuvers situations subtly for personal gain. The stirrer instigates conflicts to maintain power. The gatekeeper controls access and information. The shadow enabler enables negative behavior in a leader. The court jester uses humor to disarm and advise. The mirror reflects others' desires for acceptance. The favorite and the punching bag, the favorite receives special treatment while the punching bag faces mistreatment. Now forming the right group involves instilling a collective sense of purpose, assembling the right team of lieutenants, letting information and ideas flow freely, infecting the group with productive emotions, and forging a battle-tested group. The law of fickleness, make them want to follow you. Suggesting that people are prone to sudden shifts in their beliefs, opinions and allegiances based on immediate circumstances or influences. Among other things, this is the reason we need an authority figure. The strategies for establishing authority are: find your authority style, authenticity, being genuine and true to oneself to gain trust and credibility. Focus outwardly, the attitude encourages paying attention to others' needs and perspectives to command respect. Cultivate the third eye, the vision, involves having a clear vision and insight to inspire confidence. Lead from the front, the tone, setting the tone by taking initiative and demonstrating competence. Stir conflicting emotions, the aura, creating an aura that provokes interest and captures attention. Never appear to take, always to give, the taboo, avoiding the impression of selfishness and emphasizing generosity. Rejuvenate your authority, adaptability, underscores the importance of adaptability and flexibility to remain relevant and influential. Establishing an inner authority involves realizing you have a responsibility to contribute to the culture and times you live in, learning to focus and prioritize and adhering yourself to the highest standards in your work. The law of aggression. The source of human aggression is a complex combination of factors, including biological impulses, societal conditioning, and the quest for power and dominance, often triggered by deep-seated insecurities or unmet desires. These influences fuel a primal need for control and status, driving individuals to assert themselves aggressively in various situations to fulfill their desires and overcome perceived threats. Most of us are afraid of outright confrontation and are more subtle, engaging in passive-aggressive behavior. The following are strategies of passive-aggressive behavior and how to counter them. The subtle superiority strategy, implying one's superiority subtly, counteract by redirecting focus to collaboration and shared expertise. The sympathy strategy manipulates through victimization, counter it by setting boundaries and redirecting focus to solutions. The dependency strategy fosters reliance, counter it by encouraging independence and self-sufficiency. The insinuating doubt strategy sows seeds of doubt subtly, counter it by presenting clear evidence and facts. The blame shifter strategy deflects accountability, counter it by encouraging responsibility and direct communication. The passive tyrant strategy subtly enforces control, counter it by fostering open dialogue and asserting autonomy. The problem is not the aggression itself, but rather how the energy is used. There are also positive elements we can use our aggressive energy. Ambition, leading to determined goal setting and strategic planning, focusing on long-term success without compromising integrity. Persistence, harnessing aggressive energy to fuel unwavering dedication and resilience, overcoming obstacles to achieve desired outcomes. Fearlessness allows for calculated risk-taking and bold decision-making, emboldening one to tackle challenges head-on. Anger, when transmuted effectively, serves as a catalyst for constructive change, fueling passion and motivation toward rectifying injustices or instigating positive transformations. The law of generational myopia. Each generation believes their values and perspectives are superior to the previous ones. To counteract this, one key strategy is to adopt a broader historical view, studying various generations and their influences to gain a more comprehensive understanding of societal patterns and avoid the myopic trap of believing one's generation is uniquely enlightened. This is a natural phenomenon, and you can exploit it yourself. Push against the past, challenging conventional norms and practices to align with the current spirit of the times. Adapt the past to the present spirit, selectively embracing elements of the past that resonate with contemporary values, ensuring they fit the current cultural landscape. Resurrect the spirit of childhood, reintroducing the enthusiasm, curiosity, and imagination of childhood into adult situations to spark innovation and creativity. Create the new social configuration, restructuring social norms and hierarchies to suit evolving societal needs. Subvert the spirit, prevailing ideologies and beliefs, introducing alternative viewpoints to provoke fresh perspectives. Keep adapting, the ongoing evolution and adjustment to shifting societal dynamics and cultural shifts. You should consider your actions in a broader context, striving to create a legacy that outlasts your physical existence and leaves a significant mark on the world. The law of death denial. People are reluctant to acknowledge their mortality, often leading to behaviors or beliefs that shield them from the reality of death. It can manifest in various ways, such as avoiding conversations about death, clinging to youth, or denying the inevitability of aging. The keys to this law involve accepting the transient nature of life, embracing the idea of impermanence, and using this awareness to live more purposefully and fully in the present. A philosophy of life through death. Embrace the finite nature of existence. Use your awareness of mortality as a driving force to live authentically, prioritize meaningful experiences, and cultivate a deeper appreciation for life's transient moments. The Laws of Human Nature summarized in 27 minutes. To get a deeper understanding and explanation, I highly recommend you read the whole book yourself, as a summary cannot provide you with as much useful information as the book itself. The Amazon link to the book is in the description. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and share with your friends.